So good evening, class. Our topic for tonight would be inventories. So this would be the first time that we would be dealing with a standard that deals specifically to a particular account, to a particular asset. In the previous discussion videos, we've tackled about standards that dealt with the preparation of your various financial statements. But actually, if we look back to past 7, statement of cash flows, we have actually touched a little on a specific account title, on a specific asset, which is your cash. Although past 7 is not entirely devoted for accounting of your cash, since the purpose or objective of past 7 is for the preparation of your statement of cash flows. But definitely, there were a lot of provisions that is to be used in accounting for your cash and cash equivalents. So before proceeding to inventories class, I'd like to settle first the measurement of your cash because this would be the simplest account that we will encounter. If you will just bear in mind our objective, which is to prepare our financial statements, including our statement of financial position, where we will present our assets, liabilities, and equity. So if your goal, class, is to determine the amount in which your cash should be reported in the statement of financial position, then that would not be a challenging task. Because all you have to do really is just to count how much cash you have at the date of the financial statement. And as you should have already learned, your statement of financial position is dated as of the last day of the reporting period. So if our reporting date is December 31 of the current year, then the amount of cash that you should report in your statement of financial position should represent the amount of cash that you have on such date. So if only your cash is composed of cash on hand, then all that is left for us to do is to count how much cash we have. Although in reality, it will not be that easy, but the point is to simply determine how much cash you have as of the date of the financial statements. So in some sense, we really don't have to maintain an accounting record for cash just for you to arrive at the amount that should be reported in your statement of financial position. All that you should do is to simply determine the amount of cash that you have on the reporting date. Now, why is the reporting or the presentation of cash not difficult? Because its measurement is very simple, class. If ever it comes out in an exam and you are asked, how should cash be measured? Your answer would be that cash is measured at fair value, class. The best answer would be that cash is to be measured at fair value. As we go along in our discussion of the accounting standards class, you would notice that the two common initial measurement for your assets would be either the fair value or the acquisition cost. Things get complicated only because the definition for fair value could differ for different kinds of assets and liabilities. But definitely, the use of fair value as the measurement base for assets and liabilities class is very common. As to what fair value actually means when it is applied specifically to certain accounts is a different story. But for cash class, all you have to remember is that cash is to be measured at fair value. What then does fair value mean for cash? It's actually very simple, class. The fair value of your cash is simply its face value or its face amount. Whatever value you see in your money, in your cash, then that is the value that you should assign to your cash. For example, you have a 1,000 peso bill, then that bill should be measured at 1,000 peso. The fair value of cash is simply its face value. And it makes sense, class, because nobody is willing to exchange your 1,000 peso bill for 1,100. And nobody would be willing to give you a 1,000 peso bill in exchange for only 950 pesos. The fair equivalent of your 1,000 peso bill, class, is also another sum of money in the amount of 1,000. So if ever you're asked how should cash be measured, best answer is fair value. But what if fair value is not given? Then our answer is that cash is to be measured at its face value or face amount. Now moving on for inventories class. It is governed by past 2. And our goal for this discussion is for us to know the objectives, the scope, the classification, the measurement, and the reporting of your inventories in our financial statements. So first off, the objective of past 2 class, as what we have mentioned earlier, is to prescribe the accounting treatment for inventories. When I said earlier that we will be dealing with how inventories are to be presented in the financial statements, it includes the accounting issue on how the cost of inventory should be reported. Should it be reported in the statement of financial position only? Can it also be reported in your statement of comprehensive income? Those questions are going to be addressed by past 2. As to the scope, class, obviously, the scope of past 2 is with regard to inventories. But there are certain types of inventories, class, that are expressly exempted from the coverage of past 2. We have actually 3. You have your financial instruments, your biological assets, and your agricultural produce at the point of harvest. But the standard lumps together your biological assets and your agricultural produce because they are governed by the same standard, which is PAS 41. But make no mistake, class, financial instruments, your biological assets, and your agricultural produce can also be considered as inventories. It is just that they are expressly excluded from the scope of application of your PAS 2. And what would be the reason? The simple reason is that they are expressly governed by a different standard. But my point, class, is that strictly speaking, these items can also be considered as inventories. Your financial instruments, your biological assets, and your agricultural produce can be considered as inventories because they are held primarily for sale. But again, even though they qualify in the definition of your inventories, they are not to be governed by PAS 2. If we quickly go over to the definition of terms, class, for inventories, you would see my point that inventories are assets that are held for sale in the ordinary course of business. You can have financial instruments, you can have biological assets, and agricultural produce that are held for sale in the ordinary course of business. So does that mean those 3 are technically not inventories? The answer is no. They technically fall in the definition of inventories. It is just that they are not to be governed by PAS 2 because of their special nature, and that is why different standards exist to deal with them specifically. So this can be a source of a multiple choice question already, class. We have 3 items here. You will be asked, which of the following is covered by PAS 2? So of course, 3 out of the 4 choices would be wrong, and you would expect that 3 out of the 4 choices would be your biological assets, your agricultural produce, and your financial instruments. And definitely, an asset that is held for sale that is not one of those 3 excluded items should be your answer.